Hello, everybody. Welcome back to G Bears Off Gridways, Homestead in the Desert, January 16th, 2020. And yes, we're standing inside today because, well, yesterday and all the way up until 1 p.m. today was just beautiful. Nice, clear skies, um, no wind, just beautiful for doing outside stuff. But I didn't get much done because yesterday, of course, was the day that Pierre left. So by the time he got on his way, most of the day was shot already. And I just figured, oh, I'll just shoot a video and go from there. So I did that video yesterday on the questions that were asked on the missing comments. So anyway, what we're looking at in here is this is what I did today. I got the ceiling insulation in. That's R19 in the ceiling, so that'll give me a good insulation from the heat. I had two little pieces, one went up there and one went up there, but I need two more pieces. This one's only 60 long and this one is 60 long. So I need 120 inches, and unfortunately I don't think they sell the single battens anymore. I'm going to have to check on that. I think some places do, but I don't know if Home Depot does. So I need two more pieces, and that's okay because in here is where I have a little bit of a change in the ceiling height. You see that ceiling joist right there comes down to just at the top of the pantry. And over here, this one is on top of a 2x4, so it's 1.5 inches higher. And the reason I had to do that was because I had to match the old roof that was up here. And so it'll come across just to about here, and then it just got be straight all the way across because they all rest on the 4x4 at the same level. So I'll have a little switch in the ceiling right here, which won't be bad, but I've got to put a cleat up there so that I can fasten the drywall to it. So I couldn't put that piece in anyway. So I skipped over and I did these two. And then this one, of course, is a slightly narrower piece, but I put it up there for whole anyway, and it goes over the top of that 2x4, so it gives me a little bit more insulation. All right, so that's what I did. And besides that, I did have to run into town again, and I got all the stuff to run my coax because the TV's over there right now. That's a small TV that's going to end up in the kitchen. The big TV is going to come out here and end up on this wall, and the mount will be mounted into that 4x4, so it'll be nice and strong. So I had to run another box over here with electricity, and of course the coax for the antenna. So I put a splitter in behind that ring right there where the wire comes out and goes to this TV now. So I've got the other wire runs up over the top and down over there, and I've got it all wired in already, so it's all ready to go. I wanted to show you a couple of tools that I use for doing that coax. So I don't buy the coax with the ends on it. I just buy the bulk coax that's in a roll, or you can have them at Home Depot. You can have them cut off whatever length you want. Now they have these little Type F connectors here. Let me get under the light here. Okay, and these are compression type, and to install those you need a tool like this. Okay, and they're not cheap, so they now make these that are push on, but a 10-pack of these is like $8, and a 5-pack of the ones that don't need the tool are $6. So, but you don't need a tool for them. This part here pushes in manually. When you push the wire into the end of it like that, you just use two hands and push it together, and it clips and crimps itself without having to use a tool. I use this tool, and the way you got to do it is when the wire's on it, slides down into there like that, and then you squeeze the handles together. I won't do it because I'll compress that one. Let me get that out of there. And the wire goes down in here, and these two little pieces close to hold it straight. And then you squeeze the handle, and it pushes the unit together and crimps it onto the end of the wire. To make it easier, I have this tool and this tool. These are cable cutters just for cutting this type of cable, so you get a nice square cut on them. And this tool, you open it up like that and you clamp it around the wire, and then you stick your finger in the hole and you just spin it around until it gets free, and then pull it off, and you'll strip the wire like that. So now you have to put this onto there, and you have to push it in, because down inside there's a little hollow area there that has to go in between the casing here and the inside white insulator. Okay, that's the ground that goes on, the ground part of this thing that goes on the shield. So to do that, you have this tool. Okay, now this little cone-shaped end on it, you press that in there first, and it'll separate the two just a little bit. And you just want to go, well, maybe 1/8 of an inch into the wire with that little cone just to get it separated, to get it started. Then this one has a Type F threaded male on it. So then you would screw the connector onto there, and that gives you something to push on when you push it on, so you can get it in there and seat it really nice. And when you seat it, you want to look inside, and you see the little hole there. You want to see the white insulator right up against that hole in the center of the Type F connector. Okay, so then you can unscrew the fitting from this threaded fitting, and then this side, of course, is the nut wrench, which is the right size for Type F connectors. So when you tighten your wire onto your TV or onto your splitter or whatever, you can lock it down tight. All right, so those are some of the tools that make things handy. This I've had for years, and this is great for putting up insulation. This is a air stapler, and I have my little compressor down here. So I was using this because this thing, as fast as you pull the trigger, you shoot staples with this thing. And this is in the days before they made safeties on these, so you don't have to press on anything. Excuse me. All you do is just keep pulling the trigger. There's no safety, so you got to treat it like a real gun. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire, and then you bring your finger in and shoot it, and put your finger back. Shoot it, put your finger back. Takes a little getting used to, but I've been using it for 28 years now, so I'm used to it, and it still works great. And I bought that at Harbor Freight Tools, believe it or not. And great little tool. I love it. The ones with the safety where you got to push down, that thing always tears the paper on my insulation, so I can't use it for insulation. I got to use a hand stapler, and those things were a pain in the neck. They wear your arm out in no time. So anyway, we got all the insulation in that we need. We're all set up and ready to go. And on the next paycheck, I'll probably start picking up drywall and get the ceiling drywalled anyway. And I'm going to be using a rented panel lifter to do this. So you basically put the panel on the lifter, you turn a crank, and it raises it up and it holds it in place. And if you want to take a lunch break, nobody's arms get tired. So it'll stay there until you're ready to go shoot screws. And you shoot all the screws in it, then lower that thing down, put another panel on it and raise it up right next to it. And it's got two little tabs on there, so you can press it right up against the next piece and make sure you get the seams closed nice and tight. All right, that's about all there is to it today, people. I'm going to cut this one off. Any questions or comments, leave them at the bottom. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up down there, like my videos, please. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Again, I will remind you, it is free, doesn't cost you anything. A lot of you people are subscribed already, and I see new ones coming on every day, and I love that. So click subscribe, little bell comes up, click the bell, and you'll be, that'll, all that does is notify you when I post a new video, so you won't miss anything. I've got that list together for the tools that you should bring out if you're going to go out homesteading, and what tools, top 10 tools you should have. I just have to, I put the tools, top 10 that I like, but there's probably 30 tools that I think you should have with you. So I might do it in a 3-part series. Start with the top 10, the ones that are most important that you're really going to need when you get started, and then work my way down from there. This is G Bear signing off.